Donald Trump is not my president. Coast to coast, thousands of Americans who share that sentiment towards President-elect Trump are rejecting him as the future president. In mostly peaceful and orderly protests across the country, demonstrators are voicing concern in regard to Trump, who often used inflammatory rhetoric about immigrants and other minority groups throughout his campaign, and the harm his policies would do to American civil rights. Trump's response to the protest? Attack. Taking to Twitter, Trump blamed the demonstrations against his victory on professional protesters, who he says have been incited by the media, calling their protest very unfair. Trump didn't seem to think protests against the election winner were unfair when President Obama was re-elected in 2012. He tried to incite protest on that election night 4 years ago. We can't let this happen. We should march on Washington and stop this travesty. Our nation is totally divided. California's two legislative leaders are drawing a line in the sand between their state and a Trump America. The morning after the election, Senate President Pro Tem Kevin DeLeon and Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon issued a joint statement. Today, we woke up feeling like strangers in a foreign land. The leaders vowed to fight any attempt by the future Trump administration to roll back the state's achievements and protect against discrimination of any kind, writing in part, quote, "By a margin in the millions, Californians overwhelmingly rejected politics fueled by resentment, bigotry, and misogyny. California is and must always be a refuge of justice and opportunity for people of all walks, talks, ages, and aspirations, regardless of how you look, where you live, what language you speak, or who you love. While Donald Trump may have won the presidency, he hasn't changed our values." Meanwhile, a movement is underway in California to secede from the United States. Yes, California, a grassroots organization, is pushing for California to secede and become a separate country. Supporters are proposing a referendum on the issue in 2019 on whether California should exit the Union, a Collexit vote. Collexit stems from the successful Brexit campaign in Britain to leave the European Union. The referendum would ask whether voters think California should become an independent country. A number of Northern California tech entrepreneurs are ready to team up and pay up to support the cause. Shervin Pishvar, a co-founder of Hyperloop One, announced on Twitter that he would back a legitimate campaign for California to become its own nation. Entrepreneurs Anand Sharma, Mark Hemion, and Dave Mormon have also pledged to back the cause. But despite being the sixth largest economy in the world, more economically powerful than France, analysts say this California dream of seceding is implausible. A state's exit would require 2/3 approval of both the House and Senate in Washington, along with the blessing of 38 state legislatures. According to UN data, if California became a separate nation, it would be the 35th biggest country on Earth. In his victory speech, President-elect Trump called for Americans to come together as one united people. This as the United States appears to be coming apart at the seams. For FoxNews.com, I'm Rob Demetrius.